2022, two teenagers in Singapore were detained on terrorism charges. They had allegedly planned to murder people who they claimed to be, quote, disbelievers and construct a car bomb that they hoped to detonate at a local mosque. What's interesting about this case is that the two teenagers had met on the gaming platform Roblox, where they had seemingly self-radicalized.
Wait a second. I can't understand. I am a Muslim myself, so in Islam you are not allowed to kill anybody. But how the hell they are even planting bomb outside of mosque? What the hell is going on here?
And used the platform to virtually plan out their terrorist attacks. These teenagers were only 2 of 11 total people who have been prosecuted for similar reasons, according to Singapore's Internal Security Department. It's pretty shocking how many examples are available of people pledging their allegiance to the Salafi jihadist group ISIS using Roblox, and subsequently planning terror attacks in real life. Later in this video, we're going to infiltrate one of these communities to see exactly what is happening from the inside. But first, I want to talk about one more example of this happening, and you've probably heard about it before. In January of 2025, James Wesley Berger had planned a mass event at a Christian concert. He shared his plans on the Roblox platform, allegedly even sharing images of the weapon he planned to use via Discord. And he described in disturbing detail what exactly he planned to do, stating he wanted to deal a grievous wound upon the followers of the cross. Shown in the screenshots provided in the criminal complaint is James Wesley Berger on his Roblox account Craze3Pain. What I found the most interesting and even disturbing about these cases is the fact that none of these people were ever alone. They had always been shown in screenshots.
The another thing is that they are brainwashed very well. Like, for example, in Islam there is like no order to finish somebody off and do stuff like this, and even you cannot harm an animal. For example, if you want to kill animal which for like food, you can do that, but if you want to kill some animal for just entertainment value, you cannot do that. That is like haram, consider forbidden. So imagine killing a person, which is the most one of the worst sin in Islam which you can do, which they are doing and killing people, which is like horrible stuff. And another thing, they don't even read Quran, which they supposedly follow and do this kind of terrorist attacks. Like, how about you read something about a religion, then do some kind of stuff which they do blindly? I am pretty sure they are brainwashed, and I don't know how they brainwashed somebody to that extent without even them knowing the truth about what religion say about that kind of stuff.
Next to other Roblox players who had openly shared similar values. In my opinion, this would imply that there are organized communities of these people on Roblox, communities that engage in harmful and potentially even deadly activities. And I knew that the only way to find answers would be to find one of these communities and join them for myself, to find out what was really going on.
Okay, now how about we see what happened next?
It's actually surprisingly difficult to track down an extremist community on Roblox. They are forced to hide behind the cover of seemingly inconspicuous usernames and group names. Take this community, for example. You would think it's some sort of taxi service roleplay or something like that, but in reality, it's much darker. If the logo isn't enough of a red flag, you can look into the group roles, which include cell member, cell leader, and commander. These roles might seem rather tame at first glance, but they serve a specific purpose that we'll get into later in this video. Another method of identifying one of these communities is again by looking at its group name. A large portion of them use a series of dashes and lines to conceal.
By the way, I know they just spread their message through this kind of community, which I was not aware of. Like, gaming is the last thing I will ever imagine this kind of terrorist will do to brainwash children from the young age. The thing is that they spread their message by scaring people. For example, they will leak tapes of them killing people. So a lot of people will scared of talking against them, and some of the psycho people will want to join it. I have personally seen this kind of tape once in my life when I was around maybe 7 or 8 year old, and that was because my uncle bring their tape and he decided to watch it, and I was there, so I already watched it. That was a horrible thing. I will just make another video regarding this, but they just do that to spread their propaganda, also to spread fear against people, so nobody can speak against those, because that tape was also a message to people that if somebody try to leak their location or tell somebody who they are, where they are from, they will meet the same punishment as this guy, which was horrible. I will make another video regarding that, but that was the horrible thing I have ever watched in my life.
Themselves. This group, for example, might seem pretty random, and might be invisible to Roblox's moderation, but what gives it away is the attached image in the group description, which seems to show a rally of Roblox players in Daesh attire. However, some of these communities make little to no effort in concealing themselves, opting to use group names such as the anti
By the way, is it like a literal real communities, or maybe somebody is pretending to be part of their community? Because same kind of stuff happens to a lot of communities, especially like hackers community, while people pretend like they are part of them. So maybe it is possible to, like, for example, people started to check if this kind of community exists, and they happen to find, and they were thinking like, yeah, we have finally found that community, but in reality that was run by maybe FBI, CIA, or maybe some just kid doing some prank on you. So there is a highly possibility that you will not find a literal legit group. Maybe you will find it, but after like searching for it for much longer.
Rebellion Front were the People's Uprisal. But perhaps the most important community in relation to this video will be a group called the Northern Region. This was actually one of the first communities I came across when I began my investigation. It had caught my attention because it had recently opened up and was active at this time, which was very rare for communities like this. They had often shut down very soon after opening up, either by being banned on Roblox or even Discord. So this would probably be one of my only chances.
By the way, isn't this a weird thing that this kind of people are promoting this kind of organization through Roblox or Discord? Because those kind of sites are not very much of what can I say, like for them secretive and private for them. What I have heard a lot of times, like a mass shooting happens or people get radicalized, most of the time it is related to Telegram or website like this, chat boxes. But still, yeah, you need to find this kind of group, then they will aid you to that kind of chat room. So yeah, this is also makes sense that this kind of groups are like visible for people to join, and then they will recruit people from them, then they will add those people to like Telegram or chat box like that.
To join one of these communities and potentially to speak to some of these people. The Northern Region was a very short-lived Roblox community that branded itself as a milsim roleplay taking place in Syria. The community itself consisted of 6 different factions, each representing a real-world contingent. Of course, this first faction was a representation of the Free Syrian Army, and the second one was a recreation of the 75th Ranger Regiment in the United States Army. Now, these other groups, however, are based off of something a little bit more complicated. You see, this group here, I can actually confirm, is based off of Harakat al-Jihad Islami, a terrorist organization based in South Asia, which is a bit strange, considering this is supposed to be a roleplay community aiming to recreate the Syrian conflict. But anyways, this next group can be positively identified as an ISIS roleplay group, as they say so themselves in their attached Discord server. It's also in this Discord server that a lot of your questions are going to be answered. But for now, let's finish going.
By the way, also another fun fact for you guys, that whenever you hear about IS attacking somebody, most of the time, why they decided to attack, especially Muslim countries? Is it this like weird? And who is really behind those kind of organization? And they only target manually Muslim people, which is weird because they pretend to be, say, like we are following a religion of Islam, but then they decided to kill Muslim themselves, which is what I mean. I can't say on YouTube because I will get banned or I will get community guideline, but you know what I mean by which kind of group is behind those people. And they already say sorry to them one time when they attack them by mistake.
Over the rest of these groups. These other factions are difficult to understand, but looking at these pictures linked to both their groups and Discord servers, it's safe to assume that they are also role-playing as ISIS or other related terrorist organizations. And taking a look at this list of factions, it becomes obvious that the purpose of this community was not to roleplay the events of the Syrian civil war. Instead, it was a gathering of terrorist roleplay groups. And as we dive deeper into this community, we will soon realize that this is not even about roleplay. Of course, the northern region is no longer active as of today. I was extremely lucky to join it when it was active. At this time, it was owned and led by a user known simply as the Sewer Troll. He's a very well-known character in and outside of the community, for reasons we will come to understand very soon. For this video, I joined both the HAI groups and the confirmed ISIS roleplay group, and as we are just about to find out, these two factions would give us two completely different perspectives on what it means to represent a terrorist organization on Roblox. Before we participate in one of these community events within the northern region, it's important to quickly clarify something. There is a fine line between simply role-playing as a terrorist organization and engaging/encouraging their ideas. The HAI group had made clear throughout their Discord server that they do not support the beliefs of any terrorist organization, and they had seemed to only rally for the purpose of role-playing. It seemed like just a bunch of edgy teenagers role-playing as something edgy. I also joined a battle with the HAI, where we attempted to take on an enemy stronghold. After rallying in a voice chat, we equipped ourselves with ISIS-themed apparel, including a headband featuring the Shahada and a Roblox face in place of the seal of the Prophet Muhammad. After dressing up and gathering in a blob of soldiers, it was finally time to fight the disbelievers. We headed out in armored trucks.
Another thing is, yeah, I have seen videos related to this, like people are part of resistance group, not a literal terrorist group. So maybe it is also like that.
And equipped ourselves with explosives. We then attempted to attack the military base. The HAI group had lost this battle, but my time here wasn't done just yet. I wanted to speak to some of these group members to gather a true understanding of their purpose and their mindset. It seemed like they were just simply role-playing, but after speaking with some of their members, I had quickly realized there was something much darker going on. In the Discord group chat, members were discussing their run-ins with actual members of ISIS, who seemed to have been attracted to the aesthetic of this HAI group. One member had claimed to have mutuals in ISIS, who could at any moment be, quote, feted. Another member claimed he had already reported and even gotten arrested a possible member of ISIS. I decided to speak with at least one of these guys to gather more details, and surprisingly, he let me in on some pretty shocking information. He claimed to have been approached by a possible ISIS recruiter while playing Roblox. Initially, he had inquired about joining what he thought was just an ISIS roleplay group, but he would quickly realize what he had signed up for, and it was anything but just a Roblox group.
And he told me, first of all, I said, hello, brother. And he told me, are you Muslim? Instantly. He didn't even tell me hello, nothing. He instantly asked me, are you Muslim? And I was not going to tell my personal information to him. If he's like in an ISIS Roblox group, you are not going to give him your personal information. But I told him, basically, yeah, I am Muslim. And he told me, what do you want to do? And I told him, I want to join the group. I didn't specify to join the Roblox group. So I told him, I want to join the group, yeah? And he asked me like some questions.
This alleged recruiter would ask him questions like, how old are you? What's your level of education? Do you have a passport? Are you in good health? Do you know anyone personally in this Roblox group? And are you married or do you have kids? These are absolutely not the type of questions you would expect to be asked.
Wait a second.
Do you know anyone
Okay.
personally?
Do you know any personally in Syria? Allah? Okay, now of Roblox group. Okay, so I was confused, like, but that name is. Another thing is, if this kind of recruiters, which I know about, I have hear about this kind of groups, not, I mean, like literal terrorist group, but I know about resistance groups which are completely different from them, because they work with the army, because sometimes they need, like for example, mercenaries, so they are there to work for them. And I remember when I was around that 8 9 year age, while my village was hijacked by Taliban. So I remember they were providing people like 25k at daytime Pakistani rupees, which was around maybe $200 or maybe less than $200. But they were providing that money to people who will join them and work for them. And they were sugarcoating those jobs as like you are freedom fighter and you will join us, which what I now think is that they were terrorist organization and they were sugarcoating their like agenda and while recruiting people like that. What I think that is, I don't know about what the reality behind the whole situation is, so I don't know about that much.
In this Roblox group? And are you married or do you have kids? These are absolutely not the type of questions you would expect to be asked when joining a group on Roblox. But was this actually a member of ISIS attempting to use Roblox to recruit somebody? I wasn't so sure, and I wanted to see if there was any more information I could dig up, so that maybe I could verify this as a fact or fiction. I would look to another terrorist roleplay faction, and what I would find would be very confusing to say the least, but dare I say, not very surprising. This other faction, named conspicuously with dashes and lines, made no effort in hiding their intentions. Of course, anything like gore and direct references to ISIS are prohibited in this Discord server, only because they don't want to get their accounts banned.
Again, this is pretty weird for them. Why they not just create Telegram group and do stuff there, because they will not get detected by moderators. So it is very weird that are they a literal terrorist organization, or maybe like some CIA agents who are just finding out people who wanted to join like IS, and they will just arrest them. I am pretty confused up until now again.
Instead, members of this community are encouraged to chat in a Telegram server, where
Yep, I was correct about this.
moderation is non-existent. It's in this Telegram chat that the intentions behind this community are revealed. Simply looking at the Telegram group chat picture, we can get a pretty good idea of what we're dealing with here. It shows what looks to be a member of the Atomwaffen division, posing with a member of ISIS. Beneath them is simply the text, together. This implies a possibility I've already imagined when starting my personal investigation. These are Atomwaffen and Siegist LARPers, who consider ISIS to be a very close ally, and not for any religious purposes, but simply due to the fact that the Salafi jihadist group launches terror attacks around the world, a very similar principle to that of the Atomwaffen division, to cause chaos and the loss of life.
But again, I'm pretty confused about their originality. Like, where are they from? Are they from like a literal terrorist organization, or maybe they are pretending to be a terrorist organization, or maybe they are from CIA?
A core principle of both of these organizations. I've talked about this more extensively in another video of mine, where I discovered an accelerationist cell of Roblox players, obsessed with Pol Pot and the Cambodian genocide. In this case, however, the obsession seems to have been ISIS. Going back to the Telegram channel, it's just filled with edits of mass casualty events and gore. Of course, this is something you would expect these types of people to be posting, and it's only 2 clicks away from an unsuspecting Roblox player. These two factions, the HAI and the Atomwaffen ISIS roleplay group, had shown 2 different sides of this extremist roleplay community. The HAI was filled with mostly Arab and Pakistani users, roleplaying with the aesthetics of ISIS, while attracting the occasional bad actor.
I would love to find out those, especially Pakistani people, because they are going to get fucked in Pakistan if our government find out. But still, I am doubting on my own government, so there will be a big question regarding that. Like, are they really capturing those? But still, our especially ISI, or intelligence bureau, is going to f them up, and they just want to kill, or maybe sometimes they just want to arrest this kind of people and just give it to the Americans, because my government is money hungry and they just want money from them. So yeah, it is pretty interesting fact.
This other community, filled mostly with Russian users, were much more interested in sharing a fascination with gore and beheading videos. But before I could even continue to dig any further, something had happened that would end all of the progress I had made so far. My alternate account, the Discord account I used to infiltrate these servers, was suspended for violent extremism. I'm assuming because of the Salafi jihadist propaganda videos that were posted in these servers. Although I was happy to see Discord take action against these servers, I was also saddened to have lost a good chunk of progress. But just as this entire investigation lost its momentum, I would receive a suspicious email, which would provide entirely new information. It informed me that I had made a massive mistake, not to have investigated the sewer troll while I had the chance. This person, known simply in the Roblox community as the sewer troll, has an extensive and destructive history on the platform, but his influence had reached far beyond just Roblox. Starting in 2021, he's been an active participant in some of the most disturbing communities I've ever seen, like this one, known simply as Theos. The Theos community was run by a man known as Radical Theos. His community operated on an ideology based off of works like Siege, a terrorist playbook for the neo-Nazi movement. This would result in a destructive campaign aiming to, quote,
I'm just learning every single new thing every day. Yeah, I need to find out more about this kind of people.
fight for racial purity. This terror cell would record themselves committing crimes like arson and vandalism, targeting anyone they thought was a, quote, communist. Radical Theos himself even admitted in what he thought was a private group chat that he had stabbed somebody who he thought was a communist, with video evidence to back this claim. It's also in this group chat where it's revealed that Radical Theos is a teenager who lives in Greece, and he had started this terror cell with his friends from Roblox. In reality, none of this was a fight for race or ideology. This was all to satisfy a sick craving, a thirst for destruction and human suffering. This is where the sewer troll was born, within the gore and terror-obsessed community of Theos. But this wasn't just confined within the walls of Telegram, as the sewer troll and Radical Theos would bring their influence and its path of destruction into Roblox. These two figureheads would gather enough of a following to establish their own community on Roblox. It would be called the Aryan Brotherhood, modeled after the American prison gang. Sewer Troll and his followers would roleplay as this gang in Roblox prison roleplay games, where they aimed to cause chaos by raiding servers in large numbers. They operated within a Discord server, where members shared common obsession with mass casualty events and ISIS.
So every single organization has their own personal radical group who they created, and they dislike certain community.
Execution videos, a common trend with Sewer Troll and his communities. But believe it or not, this had only served as the foundation for a much more twisted craving. The real project for the Sewer Troll was not the Aryan Brotherhood. Instead, it was a bloodline. It was known as simply Vindex. To kind of elaborate on what a bloodline community is, it's a collection of dedicated followers who all share similar usernames on Roblox. In this case, all of the followers have Vindex at the end of their name. The Northern Region community was a subgroup made under the Vindex bloodline. It was not made out of passion for historical events, but for a love of human suffering. His community was filled to the brim with the most disturbing content you can even imagine, from beheading videos to fan edits of mass murderers. Although he wasn't actually a member of ISIS or anything, he had a deep respect for the organization because of their lack of empathy and their love for blood. And as we found out just earlier, the aesthetics and the content of this community had potentially attracted members of actual terror cells. This was, without a doubt, a gathering of the most extreme people on Roblox. The right-hand man to the Sewer Troll and the creator of the Theos community, Radical Theos, was responsible for terrorism and the distribution of inappropriate material. He was the person behind the camera in all of these disturbing videos. In the Roblox community, he was making a considerable amount of Robux by selling condo maps. I'm sure you know what these are, but if for whatever reason you don't, condo maps are basically just sexual roleplay games, and it's a pretty lucrative underground business for porn-addicted Roblox players. He's also hinted at trading CSAM, or just no.
He is doing every single worst thing there is on the internet. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's going to jail soon and he's going to do some fucked up shit in the future.
People who trade it. And anybody who has even dared to call him out for this or get in his way would be met with a barrage of threats, including swatting. This perverted and depraved individual made the perfect accomplice for the sewer troll, a person with absolutely no morality. Together, they had led the Vindex bloodline on a campaign of its own to satisfy their own fantasies. Popular extremist hotspots like Roblox's church game and even their own northern region were often the host of the Vindex's campaign. They would target the most vulnerable of people, often those under the age of 18. They would manipulate these people into hurting themselves and using their blood to write the name of Theos. They had even obtained CSAM from one of their victims and used it to extort this person. Of course, they were using a similar playbook to extremist communities like 764. Looking at everything they've done, from the extortion to the terrorism, it would be easy to believe that these are terrifying individuals who possess a lot of power and influence over those who follow them. But this is hardly even the case. You see, behind the masks of scary internet doxers and manipulators, these are fragile people who only want you to believe that they are scary. In fact, they hide many embarrassing.
Yeah, because they are using a very huge terrorist organization or stuff like their kind of organization's name to just become like powerful, in a sense that people were scared of them if they tell like, yeah, we have connection in those kind of organization. So yeah, people will be scared to hear that, and they can sometimes blackmail people and people can become victim of their things, which they are even selling a CP and things like that. So I'm pretty sure they have a lot of victims where they are just making them forcefully to like make videos for them and do other kind of even stuff which we don't know. Maybe they are doing scams which we don't know about.
Secrets that would destroy this fragile facade. The email I had received from a supposed concerned viewer was not exactly what it may have seemed. It was sent by a user named Thomas Vindex and was curated and vetted by the sewer troll himself. He had found out that I was already looking into him and his community, and he wanted to make sure I only received information that made him look tough and scary, and he wanted me to stay away from a particular segment of his history. One of his group chats would leak, and it would completely shatter his image. 200,000 messages were leaked from his most private group chat with his supposedly most trusted members. It's here where he formalized a plan to give me vetted info. It's also in this chat where the sewer troll begins to get worried, as he realizes I've obtained some info he hoped I would never come across. The sewer troll had openly shared his political and ideological opinions online. He often aligned himself to whatever is the most extreme, including the
Like whatever there is a popular radical group he is the part of, like that.
Salafi jihadist ideology and white supremacy. But behind the back of his friends, who all shared similar values, he was hiding a dirty secret. Despite his very public disapproval with the homosexual community, the sewer troll was having a romantic and sexual relationship with a 16-year-old boy over Discord. They had met on the Roblox game Church, a popular extremist hotspot I mentioned earlier. Their romantic relationship was to be kept a secret, as revealing this to anybody would destroy the sewer troll's influence and his rather sinister reputation. The sewer troll and his boyfriend had extremely sexual conversations. Most of the messages I simply cannot even show on YouTube. But it's safe to say that the sewer troll was infatuated by his lover, so much so that he was completely oblivious to something that was happening behind closed doors. Roblox is unfortunately the home of many different extremist communities, from the far-left anarchist Antifa communities to the far-right neo-Nazis. There is a common trend between all of them. They are in a constant state of conflict with one another, even those that share similar ideologies. The sewer troll's Vindex community was no stranger to this trend, attacking other communities by raiding enemy Discord servers and doxing their leadership. Vindex was in a state of war with another Roblox community known simply as Cadden. These were two communities fighting for pride and influence. The Caddens were much larger and had much more influence. The sewer troll himself had initiated this war, hoping to win over some new followers and respect within the community, but this would only backfire in the most unexpected way possible. The sewer troll's boyfriend had gone quiet, leaving his messages unanswered for extended periods of time. and the sewer troll had become extremely anxious. He was worried that his secret relationship would leak out to the public, and this is exactly what would happen. His boyfriend had left him and joined the rival community of Cadden.
So, so they take his boyfriend from him.
This was a massive blow to the sewer troll in the Vindex faction. All of his secrets that he had trusted his boyfriend with were given to a rival community. In a final act of revenge, the sewer troll would leak explicit images of his boyfriend to the public. His boyfriend was a minor at this time. It's unclear how old the sewer troll is, but what is clear are the cybercrimes he committed. At this point, the sewer troll had lost his status as a feared and respected figure within the community, as his friends left him one by one. His ISIS roleplay community was shut down as it went inactive, and his Vindex bloodline was eventually terminated by Roblox. He was only left with a fraction of what he started with, and a stained reputation in the extremist community. But I'm sure you still have a few questions on your mind right now. Are ISIS recruitment cells something to worry about, as portrayed by the media? Honestly, no. I highly doubt ISIS themselves are lurking within Roblox.
Yeah, because it is illogical for them to like recruit like that, because they have already like a lot of people and a lot of support from a certain country which will provide them a lot of people to brainwash them, and they will do like whatever they want. And that is also a certain fact, because I was it start confused, like how can they do that and promote their own ideology through like Roblox, which does not even make sense. So yeah, because for example, if they want to recruit extremists and people like this, is it 4chan or Reddit the kind of community which they can target, because they have a lot of retards there. So yeah, it is pretty weird to look at the whole situation.
Hoping to find some extra manpower. I do believe, however, that extremist cells of wannabe terrorists cling to shocking and edgy aesthetics.
Yeah, because they just want the popularity of that. Like it is similar to the shooter situation, school shooters. They just want to be part of a certain shooter community and praise them and be want like this. That people, because they were popular at certain times. So yeah, people were there to look at and admire the people, and they just want the attention which that shooter gets. So they will just do the same, and it is applied to here same. But in this case, they just don't do any of a terrorist attack. They just want the name for themselves to become and be appear like as powerful as like that, and also dangerous. And they just are just power hungry people.
Often influencing those who stumble upon their communities. But as we found out together in this video, these people are in extremely fragile positions, as simply a revelation of a homosexual relationship had dismantled the sewer troll's empire. Extended interviews, transcripts, and detailed evidence will be available on my Patreon completely for free, so if you're interested in learning more, I recommend checking it out. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Maybe I'll see.
And thank you very much for watching this video. Also, I'm also doing live stream on Twitch, so you can just go there to watch me live and do videos like this, because I'm just planning to like do also a streaming and upload video here. I'm pretty sure not many people watch my live stream or videos, but I'm trying to like do whatever I can. And that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.